The dangers of unbelief in a Christian's life. Abstract. Unbelief is not merely doubt, it is a spiritual condition that weakens faith, blocks divine blessings, and distances a believer from their God-ordained destiny. The theory of the dangers of unbelief asserts that when Christians allow unbelief to take root, it disrupts their spiritual authority, limits their access to God's promises, and leads to spiritual stagnation or even destruction. This theory examines the consequences of unbelief and highlights the necessity of unwavering faith. Core principles of the theory. Unbelief separates a believer from God. Faith is the bridge that connects a Christian to God. Hebrews 11 verse 6. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. When unbelief enters, it creates a gap between the believer and God, diminishing intimacy and spiritual connection. Biblical example: the Israelites' unbelief in the wilderness, Numbers 14:22-23, caused them to be cut off from the promised land. Unbelief blocks miracles and divine intervention. Jesus performed miracles where faith was present but withheld them where unbelief dominated, Mark 6 verses 5-6. Unbelief prevents breakthroughs because God responds to faith, not doubt. A Christian struggling with unbelief will often experience delays or denials in receiving divine promises. Unbelief leads to fear, anxiety, and spiritual weakness. Where faith strengthens, unbelief weakens. It creates fear, worry, and insecurity, preventing a believer from stepping into their purpose. Biblical example: Peter began to sink when he doubted while walking on water, Matthew 14 verses 30-31. Unbelief gives the enemy access. Doubt and unbelief create spiritual loopholes that allow the enemy to operate. The devil thrives where faith is absent, 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4. The God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers. A Christian lacking faith can become vulnerable to deception, oppression, and spiritual bondage. Unbelief stagnates growth and destiny. A believer who struggles with unbelief will remain stuck, unable to progress in their spiritual or personal life. Faith moves mountains, Matthew 17 verse 20, but unbelief builds walls that hinder movement. Many Christians fail to step into their divine calling because they doubt their ability or God's promise. Conclusion. The theory of the dangers of unbelief emphasizes that unbelief is a silent but powerful enemy that weakens faith, limits blessings, and derails divine purpose. Christians must guard against unbelief by strengthening their faith through prayer, scripture, and active trust in God. When faith is strong, miracles, favor, and purpose follow. Like, share, follow, subscribe and comment for more.